Hello everyone and welcome to the weird, scary and horrible parts of humanity. Today we are looking at the worst hotel fire in Thailand and one of the worst hotel fires in history, the Royal Jomtien Resort Fire, which took place on the 11th of July 1997. In 1991, the Royal Jomtien Resort Hotel was opened in Jomtien Beach in Chonburi, Thailand, 165 kilometers southeast of Thailand's capital Bangkok and 3 kilometers south of Pattaya. The hotel was built on a plot of land owned by Kyatpol Co. Limited and constructed between 1988 and 1990. It was susceptible to strong sea breezes, however, as it was directly across the road from Jomtien Beach. However, it was only in 1992 that laws which dictated mandatory installation of fire alarms and smoke detectors in Thailand high-rise hotels were brought in, and these were not brought in retroactively. The president of the hotel and biggest shareholder was 69-year-old Intra Thamrongviatrapsong. It was a 4-star hotel with 450 rooms and 17 floors. On the morning of the 11th of July 1997, 300 guests were inside the hotel, with the majority having breakfast at the time. The ground floor of the hotel had a restaurant and a coffee shop. In the coffee shop, employees noticed the smell of gas emanating from a liquid propane gas cylinder of 9 kilograms, which was attached to an oven. Shortly after 8:30 a.m, kitchen helper Kayan Kasayan, aged 17, removed a hose from the gas cylinder but didn't shut off the valve and went to kitchen helper Jamnien Sutor to get help, as well as Chamnien Sufor, the manager of the restaurant, as well as Somnuk Udomek. Sutor then attempted to shut off the valve to the cylinder, but accidentally increased the flow of vapour, in essence opening the valve, which ignited and killed 8 kitchen staff. He would later tell Thai police, "I intended to turn off the gas, but accidentally turned it the opposite way. There were sparks and I had to run for my life before hearing a loud explosion behind me." At the same time, the other gas tank was being used to boil water and the flame from the stove ignited it. Flames quickly overwhelmed guests in the lobby waiting for breakfast, with the flames exacerbated by wooden and vinyl furnishings within the hotel, a strong westerly breeze from the beach opposite, and a lack of fire suppression systems such as sprinklers. The coffee shop also burst into flames, with employees running outside and not utilising the chemical fire extinguisher which they had brought in to extinguish the fire, knowing that extinguishing the fire would cost them their lives. As a result, the first floor of the Royal Jomtien Resort and the lobby was completely alight within 20 minutes. There was a lack of fire training for employees, and they didn't use the chemical extinguisher appropriately and left it to be consumed by the fire. On the second floor, 2 conferences were held in the conference room, one by the Electricity Generating Authority of Thailand and the second by Serm Suk plc, partners of PepsiCo. 10 minutes later, this was alight as well, with 24 employees of the Electricity Generating Authority of Thailand among the dead. The lack of pressurization in the stairwell, the absence of fire stopping on service shafts, and few self-closers installed on upper-level doors allowed toxic smoke to penetrate from the 3rd to 16th floors of the hotel. Furthermore, emergency exit doors were locked to prevent guests leaving without paying their bill, which made it impossible for many guests in the hotel to escape. In order to get into the fire exits, rescuers had to break padlocks and use sledgehammers to break through. Other fire exits were blocked with hundreds of stored chairs. Indeed, many of the bodies were found near emergency exits, with others having suffocated in hallways or internal fire escapes. Indeed, the Thai Interior Minister Snor Phientphong blamed the high number of fatalities on hotel operators who had locked emergency exits to prevent customers from leaving without paying. As a result, people screamed for help from their rooms and waved towels from windows on the upper floors, desperately calling for help. There were also some pretty amazing survival stories, among them Supin Budsiri, a hotel maid who told the Nation newspaper that she was working on the 10th floor when the fire began. She ran to the 3rd floor, tried to get out but couldn't, and ran to the 5th floor. The door to room 533 was left open, so she went inside and tied bed sheets together and lowered herself to safety. She would tell the Nation, "I survived because I kept my wits about me. Otherwise I would have despaired and died on the 3rd floor." However, something else exacerbated the number of casualties and disaster of the fire, and that was a delay in firefighters and ambulances getting there. The guest relations manager of a Royal Jomtien hotel, La-oongthip, attempted to call the Pattaya Fire Department at 9 AM and took 15 minutes to connect due to telephone lines crossing with 191 in Chonburi City, rather than the Pattaya Fire Department, with witnesses telling the Pattaya Times. But the first emergency personnel did not arrive until 9:30 AM. However, the Pattaya Mail reported that guests were aware on the top floors that a blaze was engulfing the hotel, as it did not reach the third floor until 9:45 AM. Moreover, the local fire brigade did not have equipment to reach the highest floors of the building, which meant that equipment had to be brought from Bangkok, which took 4 hours, as their fire hoses could only reach the 10th floor. Furthermore, helicopters had to be flown from Bangkok to take victims off the roof of the hotel. While this was requested at 10:30 AM by radio to the Bangkok Fire Brigade commander, Pol Major General Pirapol Sunphonket, with a request from the Chonburi Fire Brigade for backup, but Sunphonket could not immediately request this, and he needed to seek permission from the Police Director General Prachar Promnok, which would take an additional 2.5 hours. Firefighters began running out of water and started to siphon water from the hotel pool. By 11 AM there were 100 firefighting vehicles and more than 500 firefighting volunteers on the scene. By 12 PM the fire had died down in some areas and rescuers began to look for bodies, with a combined 78 fatalities found on the first day. By 1 PM the Bangkok Fire Brigade dispatched 32 fire trucks, 179 firefighters and 30 firefighters equipped with fire suits and breathing gear, but these didn't arrive until 3 PM. By 9 PM the fire was under control, with the body search briefly suspended at midnight before being resumed on the 12th of July at 12:30 AM. A combined 91 people had died, including from burns, asphyxiation, thermal trauma and jumping from the building. The final fatality was a 40-year-old woman who suffered serious burns and succumbed to a lung infection after a week in a coma. Among those dead were a Belgian citizen, 3 South Koreans and 6 Hungarians. Thapongthip's wife also died in the fire. 11 hotel staff were also killed in the fire. A further 64 people were injured, according to the Associated Press. The damage to the hotel cost $40 million. However, a further 11 civilian firefighting volunteers would die travelling to the fire in a traffic accident in Chachoengseo, the capital of the Chachoengseo province and 50 kilometers east of Bangkok, as a result of a collision just before the Bangpakong Bridge. The wife of Prime Minister Shavailit Yongchayuf Kunying Prangkyayo Yongchayuf, as well as the wife of Interior Minister Sano Phientong Kunying Uawian Phientong, came to Pattaya on an official visit to offer condolences to the families of those who had died in the fire and visited the injured in hospital. The Ministry of Labour and Social Welfare would offer compensation of 100 times the lowest wage, or 15,700 Thai baht, to employees killed in the accident, with monthly payments of 60% of the deceased's salary for 8 years. Moreover, for those injured, between 35,000 and 50,000 Thai baht was paid for treatment, with the Social Welfare Department paying 12,000 Thai baht towards funeral costs and 25,000 Thai baht if they were the main breadwinner of the family. The Por Tek Tung Foundation, a foundation supported by Thais of Chinese ethnic descent, gave 5,000 Thai baht to families of the deceased, while Kunying Prangkyayo, representing Phawon Uchin, the general manager of the hotel, gave families of the deceased 30,000 Thai baht, and Pankuya visiting the hospitals and giving flowers, personal items and financial compensation to the injured. Jamnien Uljin and Phawon Uljin, the managing director of the hotel, were charged with causing death and injury by negligence and illegal modification of the hotel. Intra Thamrongviataspong, the president of the Kiatpol Co. Limited and the majority shareholder in the hotel, was charged with the same offences on the 23rd of July. On the 16th of July, Katsten was arrested and confessed to causing the gas leak which led to the explosion. Sudfor was also charged with lighter offences. As the hotel was built prior to 1992, when there were no laws which dictated mandatory installation of fire alarms and smoke detectors in Thai high-rise hotels, a review of safety standards occurred in other high-rise buildings in Chonburi, and at least 200 other buildings in Pattaya were found not to comply with the fire safety standards violated by the Royal Jomtien Resort Hotel. Today, the hotel remains open as the Jomtien Palm Beach Hotel and Resort as a 4-star hotel, and there are no signs or memorials of the horror that transpired on the 11th of July 1997. Today, many Thais know it as a ghost hotel and believe that it is haunted. Thank you for watching. Please do yourself a favour and hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified of when new videos come out. Also, why not hit that like button and leave a nice comment? It helps more than you know, and your support is truly appreciated. Until next time, stay awesome, stay classy, be kind to everyone you meet, have an amazing day, and remember the truth is always more interesting than fiction.